Can you use it? Again, these are little phrases, and by the end of the semester, you have a little booklet and you can see what you've learnt and what you haven't learned. And the teacher, of course, can check it as well. That's a really nice way, it seems to me, of taking assessment to the learners themselves and outside of the classroom into the community. So going back to our theme of the conference, we've got the idea of being creative, building communities, and linking the assessment, not only the teacher in isolation doing it once a week, but the assessment being ongoing, being integrated, and being linked with students and with parents as well, building up a sense that assessment and learning is for all of us. E for evidence, did you know that? So we're on to E for evidence. Well, how can we evidence the assessment that we've done? Well, you've already seen the little booklet from Taiwan, you've seen the chart from Malaysia, the teachers building up this body of evidence right the way through the term systematically. Now, I must admit that in this I've always been a very lazy teacher. I'm the kind of teacher who's done an assessment and I say, okay, well done. I'm a bit too lazy to write up, but I should be more systematic in evidencing not only for the mudir, for the principal, or for the ministry, but for myself and for the learners. That evidencing is a crucial part of the process. How can we do it? Well, portfolios is one way. Mark sheets, of course, that we keep. It could be done at institutional and government level. If I was the Minister of Education, I would say, right, I think we need more systematic evidence of ongoing classroom-based assessment. So, for example, a portfolio could be a portfolio of teachers' assessment through the year. Not a student portfolio, but a teacher portfolio, where the teacher must put in regular notes and evidence of assessment that has been taking place through the year. In Malaysia, they're trying a scheme where teachers have to input marks into a computer regularly through the semester, but that's quite difficult and it requires central funding and so on. We don't need to go to that extent perhaps, but something systematic would be useful for evidencing what we do. Maybe checks at the end of the year. For example, if I was the head of department, I would say all teachers should come together maybe once a month. Tell me, how have you been assessing speaking in your class? Ahmed, how have you been assessing listening in your class? Munira, how have you been assessing reading? Tell me some interesting ways you've been doing. Tell the other teachers how you've been doing it. So it's not simply the teacher alone in the classroom, but it becomes part of the community of the school, linked in with the whole of the, not only at school level, but institutional and government as far as possible. Now, here's a dangerous idea linked with pay. In some countries they're saying, okay, we want to see evidence that you are assessing, and if you do, you will get an extra pay increment at the end of the year. Now, teachers hate that kind of thing, because it feels like it's a stick, they're beating us with a stick, rather than giving us a carrot. But nonetheless, it could be one way in which the school or the government encourages this to operate more effectively in the future. Okay, we said voices, V-O-I, what's V? Variables. O. Now, can you tell me this without looking at your nose? Varied, ongoing, integrated, collaborative or cooperative, evidenced, and systematic. Well, systematic covers all of it, doesn't it, really? Systematic means being organized, planning your work. The school also being organized and planning and building it into the system, so that every new teacher who comes in learns how to do it from the other teachers. Systematic. It should be part of educational authority planning as well, where the local area educational administration or the ministry helps everybody to be systematic about it. So, let's come to the end and let's summarize. We're trying here to make assessment a creative and as also interesting and fun. That's where V, variety, comes in. Assessment can be dull and boring if it's always the same. So be creative with your assessment. Don't think assessment is a sit-down test. It could be a very quick question and answer. It could be a game. It could be a quiz. Something varied, creative and fun is also possible alongside more formal means. Communal. Don't think it's only me, the teacher. It's also the school body, linking with the kids, linking with the parents, trying to make assessment part of the whole community's business, not just your business. Remember the voices system. I'm pleased to see that you passed the test 100% overall. Remember the voices acronym in the system. That should help us all as teachers to remember what's important. In particular, think about integration, integrating it with the syllabus and with your teaching and learning. Assessment should not be the ugly brother left out of the party. Invite the brother in. It should be integrated with the rest of teaching and learning. Future inshallah. And remember that change is a slow process. Be patient. If you're trying to build CPA into your system, it will not happen overnight. It will take some time. In a country, it could actually take years. In Malaysia, they've got a 5-year plan. So it could take a long, long time. But do your best, be patient, be confident, and inshallah it will all work out. So finally, thank you very much for listening. Here is my email. If any of you want to send me any questions, jokes, or insults, here is my email here. Luckily, the insults go off into the spam filter, but the questions and jokes are very welcome. So thank you very much for your attention.